Hi, I'm Mindy Herman. I'm a registered dietitian and nutrition communications consultant. I work with the Dannon Institute on helping communicate the message about the importance of good nutrition for children. The United States Department of Agriculture, or the USDA, sets regulations for school meals. The new regulations that are effective July 1, 2012 require that students now have both a fruit and a vegetable on their lunch tray, that half of the grains that are on their tray are whole grains, and that they be served milk at lunch, and that milk has to be either fat-free or low-fat rather than reduced fat or whole. There'll be changes gradually coming into breakfast also. So for the 2012-2013 school year, the milk on the breakfast tray will be either low-fat or fat-free milk, and then in 2013, every school breakfast has to have a cup of fruit and may or may not have a meat alternate depending on the structure of the meal.
Well, honestly, I was helped by my director of food services. We hired a new person. She came in full of energy, and she actually had the passion, and she helped me see how we could have our students eat healthy, do it without costing any more money. It was really her excitement and passion that rubbed off on me.
I'm very excited and happy about the fact that we are about to build 2 brand new schools for my elementary schools, and I'm very excited about the fact that we will now build kitchens in each of the schools, and we will hire nutritionists and dietitians.
We've had dietitians in the district for a number of years. I will tell you though, they're playing a bigger role when we look at the incidences of childhood obesity and other concerns with our high sugar content foods, making sure that we can have more wheat products, more products, perhaps turkey meat versus ground beef, and ways in which we can offer a tasty meal that students will eat and not throw away, but that's still appealing to the students and lower in calories, sugar, depending on what the product is. You know, the dietitians are very involved, and they actually do a great job of educating us. They educate the administrators, they educate the school board, they educate community and media about why they chose a certain option and what they had to do to make sure that the food, the end result, the product, is still tasty. Because you can take out a lot of things and end up with something, a cookie that nobody's going to eat.
My school district is the Hickman Mill School District in Kansas City, Missouri. We're 80% free and reduced lunch, and so there are many opportunities to look at what we offer in a food program or nutrition program to make sure that our young people are receiving the best possible opportunities to select foods that are nutritious to them, and that they get an opportunity to experience the new things that possibly they have not had an opportunity to choose in life before.
We also work with some of the growers, some of the companies, to provide us vegetables, fresh vegetables and fruits. So we have plenty of it. 3 of the farmers or growers have now donated a salad bar to 3 schools, and there's some more to come. And they provide us with all the vegetables and fruits as free. They deliver it to the school, so we don't pay.
3 out of 4 of our schools have gardens, which we call our green classrooms. And each school, the primary school, uses the produce from the gardens in a different way than the middle school or their upper elementary school. But in each one of them, the children are actively involved in the planting and then, the harvesting after the whole summer. And different families work with our schools to help us maintain those through the summer.
We had a senior 2 years ago, as part of an exit portfolio senior project, decide that he wanted to create a sustainable garden at the high school. We gave him a plot of land and turned him loose. Our education foundation provided him with a $1,000 seed grant to go out and buy non-creosote timbers so they'd be raised vegetable beds. And this kid created the most wonderful garden. There wasn't a weed in it. There were just all kinds of varieties of different vegetables that we would use in our food services program. But it created some great excitement at the school, so now we're trying to take that to the next step We're taking some monies that we had set aside for our food service, finding a greenhouse that will extend our growing season, and in addition, our Student Senate now has a sustainability committee, and part of that responsibility is to keep the garden going. Anything that's raised in the garden is used, the kids harvest it, work with the food services director to make sure we use as much as we can. Anything that we have an overabundance of will be given to the local food bank for them to be able to use.
We did receive the Fresh Vegetables and Fruit grant, and so we've been able to incorporate and make sure that our kids are receiving the vegetables and fruits on a daily basis.
We have a farm to school program, and we participate in that. We purchase lettuce, potatoes, and things that the local farmers would grow and bring to our school district. So that's one of the things we do. Also in North Carolina, the Department of Agriculture sometimes makes produce available. So we are able to obtain some of that for our children in our school district. Additionally, we're in the process of creating a garden at one of our elementary schools. We have an abandoned stadium there, and so we're going to use the bleacher areas or the growth area for the students to grow food and to be able to learn about food and nutrition in that project. And additionally, we're going to be building a hydroponic greenhouse where we can grow tomatoes and cucumbers from the water base and use those also in our cafeteria or to sell to the community if the community would be interested in purchasing that food. Salads are offered at the elementary, middle school, and high school. And if they aren't offered as an alternative that day, they are available for them to select themselves as part of their meal.
Well, some of the things we've done is we put salad bars in all 56 of our schools. We were very fortunate. The first half a dozen were provided by local businesses. And it actually ended up saving us labor costs because now our lunchroom ladies did not have to make all the specialized, the chef salads, and that took a lot of labor. This way they just dumped the lettuce and the various vegetables onto the salad bars. And then we were able to purchase the remaining salad bars out of our lunchroom fund, so that was very fortunate.
You know, there are a lot of studies that show that kids who eat breakfast perform better in school. They pay attention, they score better in testing, they behave better in the classroom, and in addition, teachers say that they can tell who's had breakfast and who hasn't because the kids who have had breakfast are more attentive and they are less disruptive and they perform better in class. So eating breakfast is really important. The other thing is that kids who eat breakfast are less likely to be overweight, and obesity is a big problem, not just in the United States, but worldwide. But also the kids who skip breakfast are more likely to be overweight because the foods that they eat in place of those healthy, nutritious breakfast foods are not as nutritious and are higher in calories.
We're very fortunate that our board supported Superintendent Terry Greer's initiative for breakfast in the classroom. So we offer breakfast to all students at the elementary level and actually some middle schools as well. Initially there was some pushback and not everyone was excited. There were some concerns from parents that perhaps the students would lose some academic time. And even some concern from some faculty feeling like perhaps that would take in some time from their classroom instruction, perhaps rodents would be in the classroom if things weren't properly disposed of. But truly, it has turned out to be fabulous. We have parents who initially felt like, I can handle that at home now, just let their child eat a very healthy, nutritious, well-balanced, really tasty breakfast.
I think my free and reduced lunch population would be about 70% or something like that. But they have this new program where if you're over a certain level and you apply, then everyone in the district will receive free breakfast and free lunch. And that's where we are now. And we really talk it up. We try to make sure that our kids are there. Even though our instruction program starts at 7:50, we encourage our parents to get the kids there by 7:30.
We have universal breakfast both at the elementary and high school level, and our elementary children were eating breakfast. But we noticed that our high school students were not. We were able to put 24 vending machines in with a little tray with the milk, the yogurt, the cereal, and actually a plastic bag around it to contain the garbage, because you're going to have a lot of your school administrators not worried about debris in the hallways. and it was amazing. The fact that it was in a vending machine caused our high school students to eat breakfast in the morning. It's been just amazing. And also we found out if we change the packaging from white styrofoam to black styrofoam so it looks like fast food, the percentage of youngsters who eat go up dramatically.
I established a nutrition task force which had community members as well as board members, administrators, teachers, and even students on it to look at our school foods program.
Some of the things that we've implemented have involved students providing us with some feedback about what they would like to see on the menu. Actually, one of our 6th grade classes right now is doing a service learning project with our food services director, surveying the middle school as to what they would like to see for foods and offerings. And in addition to that, they will have tastings. The food services director will create some opportunities for the kids to try some unusual and different types of food offerings that hopefully will pique their interest in eating more healthy.
In fact, what they're finding is that these alternate fundraisers are raising just as much money for the schools as the food-based fundraisers did, and they're much healthier. Schools are doing walkathons. They're doing pedometers and step counters. They're involving the teachers in basketball competitions and volleyball competitions. And so schools have been really creative in ways to raise money for the district that don't involve low nutrition foods. When it comes to parties in the classroom, sure, there was a little bit of feedback at the beginning, and parents said, well, how can we not have cupcakes to celebrate my child's birthday? But there's so many other things to do, sticker parties, or giving out pencils, or having an activity where a child can celebrate his or her birthday and it doesn't have to involve cupcakes or foods that are high in calories and low in nutrition.
Well, concerning fundraisers, the senior classes in our high schools were able to raise money for their senior prom by increasing the breakfast participation in the high schools over a 3-month period right after we put in the vending machines, because we looked at the research, and you know how you have to do something 50, 60 times before it becomes a habit. We wanted to get our high school students in the habit of eating breakfast, and whatever school showed the the highest increase in participation, that school got $3,000, that high school, and then they could use it for their senior prom. So it was a great fundraiser, plus the habit stayed on after the award.
We have one of the most popular fundraising events and one of the most successful is run by our ski team, and it's spaghetti suppers, potluck somewhat. In our food services program, we've moved more to a whole wheat pasta instead of the usual pasta. And it's just amazing the number of people in the community that show up for a great pasta meal, raising thousands of dollars for the ski team.
The biggest change is in the way that we address birthdays and other kinds of celebrations in the classroom, and also parent fundraisers. It was typical for an elementary school classroom to celebrate every single one of the 30 birthdays. So in some months there might be 4, 5, and 6 cupcake or cake parties. So the principals have pretty much gotten together, after we met with some nutritionists, and they all agreed to limit that. So maybe one birthday celebration with sugary treats once a month rather than several times a month. And then they developed a whole list of alternatives.
There was a little opposition when there were no more Cokes and all those things in the machines in the schools, because they were used for fundraisers and things like that, and also a lot of sugary things that no longer existed, cupcakes, birthdays of kids. We limited all that. But the parents went along because they saw the success that we're having with the kids.
We've had several chefs in the area offer to do a variety of different things, helping us with menu recipes and items, and even to help show us how to cook.
Our community is also invited to take part in the many programs that we have that deal with nutrition services. We invite them in for lunch, for dinner, special activities that we plan throughout the school year as an opportunity to come back and see where their tax dollars are going. Many of them don't have young people in our schools, so therefore being able to come in and to walk the halls, to go into the cafeteria, to have conversations with our young people about nutritious meals, and also to be able to take part in the program provides an opportunity for them to engage in wholesome diet, be able to learn about the nutritious offerings that we provide for our young people on a daily basis, and just the opportunity to communicate with our young people.
We have a school health advisory committee in our school district, and that particular group has nurses, and people from the health department and different service organizations within the community serving on that. We partner with practically all agencies in our community, most evident with our health department. You see, we're one of the few school systems in North Carolina that has a facility on campus wherein we can allow students to have health services, medical services there on campus.
I think what is really significant is that we had some of our wellness committee members meet with the Board of Education when the board developed their district goals. And one of the district goals is that it's very important to encourage student wellness. And I think that set the tone for what happens in the whole district, because it's a top-down, bottom-up kind of initiative which really points to the fact that it's a whole community that's focused on wellness. Not only, it's not only for the students, but it's for the staff, it's for the parents, it's for the administrators. Everybody's moving in the right direction.